Okay, recording. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our September 17th Bling Team call. My head's cut off there. I hope everyone's well. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We haven't had a call in a couple weeks because we had Labor Day, and we were actually supposed to have a call last week, and I forgot to remind everyone, so I cut that off on last Saturday. So no one needed to worry about that because I forgot myself. But we have Rebecca Koch on tonight. Before she gives us her all of her knowledge, I'm going to go over a couple of announcements real quick. So Clean Week, which is the new program, I think it's a 7-day program that's coming out on October 3rd. We have a sneak peek of that on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, you can see all of the workouts. However, when I was on BOD tonight, I saw it was already on there. And I didn't check it, but I don't know, maybe they already put the sneak peek up. But the official sneak peek is Tuesday. And if you need more information on that, it's FAQ 3466. The 10% club discount is now no more. You're either a customer or a coach. So that's, you either get no discount or you get the 25% discount as a coach. So no more 10%. Super Saturday is this Saturday. If you're in Indiana, we have Carl Deichler coming to our Super Saturday. If you're not in Indiana, they are nationwide. They're in Canada. I even saw one in Japan. I don't know. I don't know how that happens, but there's one in Japan. So if you happen to be in Japan or another state, then you can check out your Coach Online office and find where your closest Super Saturday is. Number 4, there are some new pre and postnatal yoga workouts on BOD in the yoga studio. So if you have any clients that are thinking about becoming pregnant, or postpartum, you can steer them that way. The Diamond Bonus Pool is still going on. I'm trying to hurry so we can get through all these. The Diamond Bonus Pool is still going on. So I believe this was the last week. I have a hard time figuring out when it starts and when it stops the week, but I have my calendar back here, and so I keep track of that. I believe this week, starting Thursday, was the last week to qualify for that for quarter 3. Quarter 4 starts October 4th. So remember, that's a $250 bonus to reach diamond or hold diamond for 6 weeks or above diamond. 1 star, I think. I used to know. I started saying that and I thought, wait, okay, and 1 star, right? Okay, so you can be emerald or ruby, get to diamond and hold it for 6 weeks, or you can be 1 star. Is it just 1 star? Okay, because 2 star, you also get the bonus. So, okay, good. Okay, last thing. On the Bling Team on, I don't know, Friday maybe, I posted a $1,000 cash for Christmas. Who would be interested in doing a group to earn, did I say, or yeah, $500 in October and November to get that cash for Christmas. So I posted a poll there. If you would be interested in that, please make sure you click your interest, whether you'd be interested or not in that group, because I want to make sure that I can put something together that will actually help you get that money for Christmas. And then I also have some prizes to give you too. So go to that poll on the Bling Team page and tell me about that. All right. That was quick fire. Okay, so we have Rebecca Koch, and I was thinking about her today and how I'm going to introduce her, and I thought, this girl is a quiet fighter. She's very quiet, but when it's time to run, she runs like crazy. We're doing this diamond, what are we calling it? Diamond focus group. And so she has been on fire in this thing, helping everyone and putting all this stuff together for the people who are in the group. And it's been really, really cool to get to know her. So she's busted the lid on this thing, and I'm super excited for you to hear from her. So I'm going to, if you can unmute yourself, and I'll mute myself, and then you can take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you, Jamie, for inviting me to your team call. And all of you guys, thanks for being here. And if you're listening to the recording, I appreciate your time. I am going to just start by sharing a little bit about my story, and then I will screen share. I have a PowerPoint. As a former teacher, I'm all about the PowerPoints. Those of you that are on the phone won't be able to see it, but that's okay. I'll explain it all. So I'm Rebecca Koch. I came into Beachbody I was familiarized with Beachbody in 2011 when I was watching towards the end of my first year of teaching, and I was watching the infomercial for P90X for about the millionth time. And I don't know what it was about that time. I was home on a snow day that made me decide to order from an infomercial. I'd never ordered anything from an infomercial. I was convinced that everything was photoshopped. And I did it. I ordered P90X, but when I went online to order it because I wasn't about to call someone, I also found Turbo Jam, and I thought that was more my style. My roommate at the time, girlfriend at the time, now wife, Kayla, she was more the athlete. I never played sports. So P90X was out of my mindset at the time. And Turbo Jam was more my style. Bought both of them, set in the box for 3 months because I was afraid of what was inside the box. And eventually I took that receipt out and taped it to my TV because I said I spent way too much money on this for this to sit in a box. So we did it together in our apartment living room, second floor. I didn't care about the people underneath us. If they were going to complain, they were going to come up and do it with us. And we just pressed play on those workouts for 90 days. P90X had never worked out a day in my life, hated gym class, never played sports. Like, I was 60 plus pounds heavier than I am now. Kayla was 80 plus pounds heavier than she was. If I was being advised by a coach, that coach would probably say, maybe we should not start with P90X. But we did it, and I cried and I marched in place when I couldn't do the moves that they were doing, and we didn't have weights. But that 90 days completely changed our lives, completely changed our life. I didn't lose a whole bunch of weight in the first month, but we both said if we felt this good after 1 month, then why are we stopping? And so we kept going. We did it intentionally in the summer. So as a teacher, no one would be able to see what I was doing. I didn't tell anyone, not my family, not anyone, that I was doing it. Was never reached out to by a coach, nothing. So we ended up doing 2 back-to-back rounds of P90X and then all the other Beachbody programs in the meantime. And in the first year, I'd lost over 60 pounds. Kayla had lost over 80 pounds. And we just kept on going with it. I was telling everybody about Beachbody. Like, why wouldn't I? Everybody was asking. So I was telling everybody. I had no idea there was a coaching opportunity attached to it. It wasn't a couple years down the road that I started stalking somebody on Facebook that was using Shakeology. She was doing some of the Beachbody programs, and I saw her drinking Shakeology, and I didn't really know her at all. I just knew her mutually. And that's when I found Shakeology. She had me try it, and I loved it, but I couldn't afford it. So I was just going to take that 1 month. I was going to drink every shake and then send it back and get my money back because it wasn't going to be that good. I just knew it. Well, turns out I had to find a way to put it in our budget. And so we did, and I became a coach for the discount. Didn't tell anyone that I was a coach. I was actually still giving people just, go search Beachbody. I had no idea that meant that people could go to my website and that I would earn money from that. Like, the person that I signed up with had no idea that there was she knew there was a coaching thing, but she was never working the business. So that put me in a spot where I didn't have an upline coach who was active in the business. She didn't know anything about the business. She wasn't really connected to the team at all and had no idea what she was doing. So then I had no idea what I was doing. The more and more I researched coaching, the more and more I realized that, so I started a challenge group on my own before challenge groups were a thing, because the teacher friends were like, let's do it together. So we're like, okay. So we started these challenge groups, and that's when I realized that they were like a thing, and there was like this coaching community, and I wasn't by myself. And that's when I started seeing the bigger picture of Beachbody. But still, I didn't know what I didn't know. And I didn't know anything, really. I just was researching things. I knew there was an online office. I was Googling everything. I was YouTubing everything. And I realized how much I loved combining my passion for teaching and helping people with my passion for health and fitness that I never knew existed. And when I combined those two, I realized that's what a coach was. And it took me a long time to figure that out. And once I started putting those pieces together and realizing there's this network of coaching, that's when I started reaching out to my direct upline and asking more questions about coaching. How do I get connected to all these people doing this thing? And she was basically, I don't know. I mean, I kind of know, but here's my coach. But then that wasn't my direct upline, and she wasn't really communicating, and she just really had no interest in the business, which is totally fine. She was one of those discount coaches, exactly how I started as a coach. It was one of those discount coaches. Long story short, I ended up, after a series of events and a series of moves and transfer, I ended up being hasn't even been a year since I've been Julie Vorse's personally sponsored coach. And then that's how Jamie and I connected, was through that connection. And every time I hear somebody say that they're on another team, like, you guys are so fortunate that you have Jamie as an upline coach, and that we have Sparta Nation as a bigger team, because there's so many resources and so much help, and so many people are willing to do that. But I built my business to diamond without having any upline support. And I don't say that like, oh, look at me, I did that. I'm just sharing that it's possible to do. It took me a lot longer than it would maybe take someone else to do, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing and no one to ask. But having someone there that shows you the power of what you can do alone, but also shows you the power of how much faster it can happen when you have other people around you. And that's when I started realizing, like, the roots of coaching. And that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys tonight, was talking about this interconnected system that we have that I didn't realize in the beginning. And I think even now, new coaches that come in don't realize, because Beachbody coaching is so different than a career that most of us have experienced in the past. No matter how involved in coaching you want to be, you're all here on this call, so I assume you have some interest in working the business side of it, and how important it is to be rooted in Team Beachbody, and how growing a team will further your mission to help more people. So when I think about being a coach with Team Beachbody, and we think about the benefits, I want you to ask yourself some questions. Why are you a coach? What services do coaches provide? Whether you may be providing them or not at this moment is a different question, but what services do coaches in Beachbody provide? How has your coach helped you? And I'm not just talking about building your business, but in every aspect of your life, be it your health, your fitness, how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem, your self-worth. Maybe it's financially that your coach has helped you build a business that's been able to financially support you any way that your coach has helped you. And why are you better because of Team Beachbody and coaching? And the last part of this is, do you share that? Do you share the answers to these questions as much as you share about your challenge groups, or as much as you share about the new Shift Shot coming out or Clean Week coming out? Do you share what coaching has done for you and why you're a coach and what you can do to help other people, as much as you share about the amazing products that we have, Shakeology and all the fitness programs and Energize? Like, I don't know how anybody lives without that, right? So are you sharing that? Because I wasn't sharing it. I don't know why I was afraid to share it, but for some reason, because I hadn't gone to school to be some fitness expert or nutrition expert, and because I had tried every single sport and never ever completed one game of any of them and cried every single time, and because I was that girl who did everything I possibly could to skip gym class, and all my brothers and sisters were really athletic, but it wasn't me. Because I wasn't that person, I felt like, why would anyone listen to me? Why should anybody want to join me? And I had to start asking myself these questions and sharing that. And it wasn't until I really got rooted in with the team and connected to the team that I started doing that. So thinking about being rooted, let's think about trees. If you don't know any benefits of trees, Google them right now. Why are trees vital or important to us? Trees are everywhere. In fact, trees are something we probably take for granted because we see them all the time. But when we really think about why they're vital and important to us, we can start making parallels between trees and Beachbody coaches. I know, stick with me, okay? It's a metaphor, stick with me. So trees provide us clean air and oxygen. Coaches provide positivity and health. Both are vital to living amazing lives. Trees provide us protection. Coaches provide us protection from our health and from those diseases, especially those lifestyle diseases. Trees provide stability, and they're a constant in our world. We see them around all over the place, in the same way that coaches provide accountability and stability in the lives of ourselves and our customers. Trees help prevent pollution. Coaches help prevent lifestyle disease. Trees create economic opportunities. So do coaches. So does the coach opportunity. Trees add unity, neighborhoods, landmarks. I remember trees in my parents' yard, like those are important to my childhood, climbing them, and the one down the street that we used to meet at, the neighbor kids and I, in the same way that coaches provide a unity that I couldn't find anywhere, even in my teaching career. Trees provide a habitat. Coaches provide that habitat, that community, that sense of community that so many people are missing. Trees can heal us in the same way that coaches can heal us. Our journey as coaches, we start typically as customers, and we have some type of goal or a vision that we have for ourselves. Normally it's self-related as far as our health or weight loss goals. At some point, there's an opportunity where we get an introduction to coaching. It may just be for the discount. It may be something bigger in the beginning. Eventually, we realize we're part of something bigger and we have a why and a reason. And then we start connecting our family and friends and coworkers because we want to make an impact in other people's lives. So we start as a customer, we get great results, we join as a coach, and we start sharing all these amazing products in our challenge groups with other people. And it's similar to how a tree starts as a really tiny seed and starts slowly sprouting. But that red line is where I see so many coaches stop. They connect all their friends and family to these great things, and then they stop. The multiplication process of trees is vital, in the same way that the multiplication process of coaching is vital. We need a team of coaches to further our vision. So if your vision as a coach has anything to do with helping people, you as an individual person can only provide so much help. You only know so many people. Your roots can only touch so many people. Your tree can only sustain so many leaves. Eventually, you need to multiply to be able to reach more people, in the same way that trees must multiply in order to sustain life. So that red line, these are the things that I see coaches, that I see trees, this will kill the roots in trees, but this is why I see coaches most often stop at that red line. So pollution will kill trees in the same way that pollution will kill our coaching business. Other people, our haters, our naysayers, the people who think, they make passive aggressive comments or they send you messages, and maybe you've been one of those people who's fortunate not to have those people out loud, but you're afraid of what people are thinking about you or saying about you, or who's eye rolling you at that, or who's blocked you as a friend. If you don't know this, Facebook does not send you a notification when someone unfriends you. And unless you're checking your friend list every single day, you're probably not going to notice if somebody unfriends you. Real life, I was so afraid of somebody unfriending me that I just froze every time I was trying to share the coach opportunity. Then I realized Facebook doesn't tell me when someone unfriends me, so I never knew. I'm surrounding myself with people who push me higher. And that's that team that I'm talking about, those roots of Team Beachbody. When I was by myself coaching, I didn't really have that stability. And then I realized this network, this huge network of roots, the root system of Team Beachbody that runs so deeply that even though that Jamie and I am not Jamie's coach, Jamie's not my coach, we can still share, we can still have this opportunity, we can still learn from each other. So the pollution, the naysayers, that will kill your coaching business. You got to keep them out of your life. They're never going to be out of your life completely. So filling all the space with these positive people is how you prevent that pollution. Lack of nutrients. So trees will die, roots will die if they have lack of nutrients. In the same way that a coach's business, your coach business, will die if you are not being coached. And this has nothing to do with your upline. Not being coached means you're not interested in growing personally and professionally. Personal development, you've heard it a million times. or you're not being coachable, meaning your coach is providing you resources and trainings and giving you tips, and you're asking questions and they're responding to your questions. But then you're not doing anything with that information. You're not taking action. That's what it means to not be coachable. And so when coaches stop their business or they quit coaching or they say, this doesn't work for me, first thing I'm going to look at is, are you letting other people talk negatively into your life about coaching? Coaching is different than everything else. So there's got to be people who don't understand it. You have to give them time. Then you look at, okay, are you being coached? Are you learning? Are you growing? Are you applying what you're learning? And then there's the deforestation of trees, where people come in and cut down trees for something better, a parking lot or a mall or whatever it is. In the same way that there's temptation out there for coaches, that there's something better, there's an easier way, these shiny objects that we get distracted by. And then our business starts falling apart and we start saying, this doesn't work. We start saying things like, oh, everyone I know is a Beachbody coach. Everyone I know has a Beachbody coach. Or I just can't, there's nobody wants to join my team or join my challenge group. And what you have to realize is that's in your mind. There's always room for new growth. There's always room for new trees. And there's always a need for new trees. You as a coach being one of those trees. So I've had a coach recently tell me that they don't want to invite to or they're not inviting to the coach opportunity because they feel like everyone around them kind of is a coach or has no interest in coaching. So they don't really feel like they need it. They don't need it. They don't need more trees. Beachbody doesn't need more coaches in this area. You have to realize that there's a huge problem out there that we as coaches can solve. There's so many different areas where people need us, and we have to believe that we have the tools and resources to help people. And we can't let these three things kill us. We can't let these three things kill our business. There's so much opportunity out there for you and for your team, and staying connected to that team is so important. So when we're thinking about being rooted into our coaching business and thinking about this tree metaphor, I want you to really evaluate, are you focusing on the crown, the roots, or the trunk of the tree? So the crown is like, I'll start with the trunk. That's you. The trunk is yourself, your personal development. Are you doing your 4 vital behaviors? Are you doing your personal development? Are you pressing play? Are you drinking your Shakeology? Are you taking care of the thing that holds your team together? That's you. Then most coaches go directly to the crown. So they're helping people in the challenge group. Those are the people that you're helping in your challenge group. Those are your customers. Those are the people that you're helping get support and encouragement, all that kind of stuff. And then your roots is your coaching network. And this includes your downline coaches as well as your upline coaches. And this is where the difference with Team Beachbody comes in. You're not in this alone. You're not a trunk with trees and no roots. This root system connects to all these different coaches, all these different networks out there. As a team, we are Team Beachbody. We have Christine Dwyer, that is Platinum Presenters. Then we have Sparta Nation, which is our kind of big Central Indiana team here. And then you have your team. Okay, then you have Jamie's team. Then you have your team. You have your individual team. Maybe you don't have an established team yet, but you will. And you have to understand that we're all connected in this root system, and that we need more coaches to connect to this root system in order to help more people. And when you're first starting your coaching business, your focus is going to be on the crown, helping as many people as you can. And then you're going to get to the point where you realize that, okay, I'm helping all these people, but I'm losing touch with myself. So you got to go back and focus on your trunk, yourself, your personal development, your own workouts, your own Shakeology, and realize that there's this team opportunity to connect with. And sometimes finding that balance between all of it can be hard. That's why you have Jamie. That's why you have your team. That's where you lean in when things get hard. I am guilty of being one of those people that when things get hard or scary, or I feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I step back. I was that person who said, I was that coach that said, well, life's kind of crazy right now, so I'm going to just take a step back from coaching. Not a good decision. Learn from my mistake. Lean in to your team. Lean and dig into those roots when you feel like you're getting overwhelmed, or it's too much, or it's not working, or whatever you feel like. Whenever those negative things come in, dig in to those roots, because that is where you're going to save your business. We have to realize that we're not in this alone. So we have a team for support and encouragement and resources and trainings. What I was talking about, leaning in. Your upline coaches, your downline coaches, and don't forget your crossline coaches. One of the best things I ever did for my business was getting success partners and mastermind groups of crossline coaches that weren't in my team page, and so they had completely different energy. That was one of the most amazing things that I did for my business. Julie Voris always says you're in business for yourself, but you're never in this business by yourself. I was one of those people that was convinced I was in this by myself. And it wasn't until I really dug into the Koch network that I realized how much bigger this opportunity is. So if our income is directly related to the number of people we help, what if we multiply that? So what if we start planting new trees? We're still connected, but we're start planting new trees to multiply that effect of helping people. We make an income by making an impact. So if you want to make more of an impact, you want to make more of an income in this, we need to multiply that number. We need to share this opportunity and not feel bad about it, not feel like we're being icky or we're just bugging people or annoying people. Those very first questions I asked about why you were a coach, if coaching's done anything positive for you, why would you feel like that it was something negative or you would feel bad about sharing that with someone? If Beachbody coaching has been a blessing in your life, then why are you not blessing other people with that gift? That was a huge mindset shift for me that made me start sharing the coach opportunity more. I don't know if you guys know what this is. Does anyone know what this is? What these are? This is some people. I see some heads. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Pando is known as the trembling giant. It is one single living organism. So it is the largest single living organism by mass on the planet. So every single one of these trees in this area is connected by one massive root system. There's one root system. They're all clones of each other. So they have the same opportunity, okay? So in the same way that we all have the same opportunity as coaches. We're not clones as people, obviously. We have our own personalities. But they're all clones of each other. They have the same resources. They have the same root system. So if that root system gets destroyed, then the whole organism's gone. It's one living, breathing organism. And I think about how powerful this is in that as our coaching network expands, what a change this could make for the world as Beachbody coaches. In the same way that this trembling giant has made an impact in the area that it's in, out west, how much oxygen this is providing that area, and how much protection this is providing, and how much ecosystem this is providing, and how much support. And this is a landmark. People know it. How cool is it? How cool would it be to run across somebody who actually doesn't, or that everybody knows what Team Beachbody coaching is? I assume everyone does. True story. But I still run into people who have no idea what Beachbody is. Which is like, what? Where have you been? Right? So it's our job to be sharing this, not just the products, not just the Shakeology, not just BOD, but also the coaching opportunity. Because people need this just as much as they need the fitness programs and the Shakeology and Energize, of course, right? Alone, we can do so little, but together we can do so much. There's been many times where I felt, that's from Helen Keller. There's been many times that I felt alone and I felt like nobody understood or whatever. And it's when I came together with my team that I realized how much more we can do. Jamie was talking about that Diamond Focus group. That's such a good example. So amazing. Incredible things are happening in that group, right? But if one of us coaches tried to do that group on our own, I guarantee it would not be successful. I promise you it would not be successful. Okay, at least if I tried to do that on my own, there's no way. But all of us coming together, there's like 10, 12 of us coming together and working together on that has made the most incredible, I think it's 5, we've only been in it 5 days, training group that I've ever seen as a Beachbody coach. It's been phenomenal. And this quote just really stood out with that. And it really ties everything together about getting rooted in that coaching system, in that network of coaches, in that network of support that we have, leaning into that. Going back to those 3 things that are going to kill the roots. Keep those in mind. Other people, not being coached, the temptation that there's something better, something easier out there, all leads to lies that we tell ourselves that stunt our growth. I'm not as good as blank, fill in the coach, whatever coach you want to say. I don't know anyone who's interested. I've lost passion, or I've lost motivation. I'm too busy, or insert your excuse here. Whenever you have those thoughts, it's time to take action. It means you're not taking action in your business, and the way to cure that is to take action. And I'm going to urge you and inspire you, hopefully, to reconnect to your root system. This means exactly what you're doing, getting on these team calls, going to team trainings and live events, doing the first 30 training. If you've never done the first 30 training, do it. Why not? If it's been a while and you feel like you're lost and you're disconnected from the root system, do it again. I'm sure Jamie will do another call with you, right? Do online office trainings. Leadership Ladder Learn How section. If you don't know what that is, that's a phenomenal resource. Get on the national wake-up calls. Personal development, daily affirmations. Write down your goals every day. Lean in. Schedule a team call or schedule a call with your upline coach, success partners, mastermind groups. Complete a Beachbody program start to finish, including nutrition. Show up. These are all ways that you can reconnect to your root system and reconnect to this amazing opportunity that we have. And the last thing I want to leave you with is something that you can take back to your challengers, because I know some of you aren't to the point yet where you have all these coaches on your team, where you're just now starting to add these coaches on your team. But how can we connect this analogy with our fitness and our health journey for our challengers? I think about how many of my challengers lose focus and they're distracted by these shiny objects, like, oh, there's that weight loss pill I can take that's going to make this a whole lot easier, right? Or they stop posting in my challenge group and they disconnect from their root system, and then they fall off the wagon and they let these haters say it doesn't work. And then they're not being coachable. We give them a meal plan and they're like, nah, this drive-through is much more tempting right here. And talking about how powerful it is to stay connected to the root system and what a difference that makes. So this goes beyond just your coaching business and the friendships that you're going to make on here, but also connecting this to a health and fitness journey for yourself and for your challengers as well. So the last thing really that I want to leave you with, let me stop my screen share with these last couple minutes. Okay. The last thing I want to leave you with is just a reminder that you're not in this alone. Okay, you have an amazing team, and you have an opportunity, and you have a blessing that you can share with other people, and to really continue to think of that metaphor of being a tree and everything that you have to offer the world that no one else can offer this world. And by not sharing you with the world, you're not leaving the mark that you were born to leave on this world. So really take a hold of it, go out, share like crazy. There's going to be haters. There's going to be people who unfriend you, but every single person on this team call right here is going to like and love that status and comment on it and cheer you on. And that's what you need. That's what you have to hold on to, because this business sucks sometimes, but it's also incredibly rewarding. And it's getting those rewarding parts that will change your life. Thank you guys so much. Do you have any questions?
That was so good.
Thank you.
Less than a minute because I don't pay for this anymore. But there is something you said on the call with Keyshawn. You talked about how you put affirmations in your challenge group. And I'm starting to do that tomorrow with my challenge group. Can you quickly put that on there?
Yeah.
And if it shuts off, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. Awesome information.
Oh, you're welcome. So every day in my challenge group, the number one task they have to do in the comments is write an affirmation. I have a daily affirmations app on my phone. I write them down every single day in my notebook. And then in my challenge group, number one, I write an affirmation. And the second day of the group, I explain what an affirmation is and why I do it. But I'm having every single one of my challengers, the first thing they do is type that affirmation. And sometimes it's, I love myself just the way I am. That one's always hard for my challengers to type out because they don't. And that's when we start talking about, this is why we do affirmations. That's why I do affirmations from a coach perspective. That's why I do affirmations from a personal perspective. And those ones that hit that emotional nerve with you, those are the ones I go up and grab my whiteboard marker and write on my mirror in my bedroom. Because those are the ones I need to be reading and writing a lot more often. Because those are the ones that make the impact. And so by doing that, my coaches or my challengers then are like, okay, they get this mindset piece every single day. And when I talk about what we do as coaches on our coach sneak peeks, they're like, I'm already doing that. Like, that's made such an impact on my life. And that makes it a lot easier to transition them into coaching because they're already doing something that coaches do, which is personal development.